People say that I'm supposed to be a TV host, a radio host, a YouTuber, flag bearer of independent media. I get a lot of terminologies. Film critic, voiceover professional. These are all genuine terms given to me. But for me, the term I gave myself is a student of the game. I'm a student all my life. You will get to know my age right now in 30 seconds when I do a flashback. 1994, March 15th, a 14-year-old boy went live on Indian radio with a radio station called Times FM. This boy, background being a Tamilian boy whose parents were in the corporate world, so he was born in Delhi. He stayed in Calcutta for a few years, then he moved to Lucknow, and from Lucknow, he moved to Mumbai. Parents were moving, so I imbibed a lot of cultures. Every city teaches you something or the other. And when I got on to Indian radio when I was 14 years old, the only thing I knew was to have fun. So I had this crazy energy and I was like, hi, what's up? I'm Siddharth Kannan. And I went on and on. And my only motive at that point was, when I go into junior college, which is class 11th, people in my college should say, you know what, this boy, wow, he's cute and the girls like me. And I become popular amongst the girls. That was the only intent. There was nothing known as vision. There was nothing known as I want to make money. There was nothing known as I want to be famous on a global level or an Indian level. Nothing. The only thing that I wanted at that point of time was to be popular in college. And that's all. Ladies and gentlemen, when I went on air first time, I had unleashed energy. And also, I became the youngest radio host this country had ever seen, because I was 14 years old and I'm in the Limca Book of Records till date, which means 29 years on the, down the line, which means 25 years down the line. Actually, it's 29, right? 29 years down the line, I'm still batting on my front foot. But what happened at that time was, when I came off air, a lot of people said, this is not how radio jockeys talk. Radio jockeys are supposed to have a baritone. Radio jockeys are supposed to have patience. Radio jockeys can't be robust with energy. And I didn't listen to them at all. I continued being who I am. And slowly, I achieved my motive of being this guy who became popular in the college circuit. Then there came a phase when I started becoming very popular. But my core radio jockeys and a few people who were running the radio station started saying, you're not going to last long. Because they said this kind of energy is not how radio jockeys should be like. And can I tell you, I did the biggest mistake of my life. I started holding back my energy. Because somewhere I was made to believe to get energy like this was not the way to be. So I started holding myself back. I remember I was going to do this interview with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. And then I was 16 years old. My radio station told me, you're going to interview Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Be careful, all right? Because he's Amitabh Bachchan, right? Right? I started talking to him saying, hello, Amit ji, how are you, all that. And after a minute and a half, I stopped my interview. I looked at him eye to eye and I said, Amit ji, I can't talk to you like this. And he said, what happened, Siddharth? This is how he talks, right? And I was like, sir, I have been told that I have to be in a certain way. but I can't continue this conversation because every step of the way, I am actually thinking and talking to you, and I'm stopping my natural ability. And Amitabh Bachchan told me, keep the mic aside, Siddharth. Where are you from? कहाँ के रहने वाले हो आप? And I said, Lucknow. And he said, अच्छा आप लखनऊ के? मैं इलाहाबाद का हूँ. And Mr. Bachchan started talking to me as if we were college friends. After 10, 12 minutes, he said, Siddharth, now, you want to do the interview? I said, yes, sir. He said, how are you going to do this? And I said, sir, I'm going to do it in my style. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, मैं हूँ सिद्धार्थ कन्नन और मेरे साथ है अमित जी. कैसे हैं अमित जी? सब खैरियत? You're doing well? You're doing okay? I was given 12 minutes to finish my conversation. I went on for 42 minutes with Amitabh Bachchan, and no one stopped me. The interview got over. The 16-year-old boy goes to Mr. Bachchan and says, sir, can I take down your number? Everyone was like, 1996, Amitabh Bachchan's mobile number he wants. And he gave me the number. And he said something very sweetly, but don't send me good morning, good afternoon messages. Huh? So I told Mr. Bachchan, sir, I'm also very busy, by the way. And he was like, mere se bhi zyada? I said, yes, sir. That day I realized, you respect people. You adore people. You get inspired by people. But don't put them on a pedestal to that level that you can't open up. Whenever I step out every morning, I could be nervous sometimes. I could be unsure sometimes. But one line I've been saying since the age of 16 to the age of 43 is, I am the best. Because if you face hurdles in life and you're going to wait for someone to come and tell you, you know what, please give me motivation, please give me inspiration, please give me validation, please, otherwise I'll feel weak from within. No one's going to do that. It's in your hand. Don't put it on to other people, ladies and gentlemen. Put it on yourself. I became, by God's grace, very, very popular. I became extremely popular wherever I used to go because I was doing television, radio events, etc., etc. Wherever I would go, I would find a lot of people around me. But I started feeling very, very lonely. I started feeling extremely lonely despite having people around me. I again had a sense of emptiness from within because I started staying alone from the time I was 16. So I would enter a hall like this. I would get adulation from people like you. And the moment I would step out, I would feel very lonely. I would sit in my car and I would feel very, very, very empty. And at that time, I called up my mother and I said, listen, you know what? I want a companion, but I want you to find. My mother said, me to find? I said, yes. And then I realized in this race to success, it's very important to have your school friend around you. Have your mom, dad, people who matter around you. Remember, when you achieve success, don't forget that class 9 friend of yours. Not that I did, but I was still so heavily involved in that process of winning, doing things, that I didn't make that call every day to my mom and dad that I should have. Though I used to talk to them once in a while, once in a week, and I realized the importance of family. After that, I had a beautiful wife, Neha, 2 lovely daughters, Adhira and Saisha. And I feel so strong from within because I know no matter what I do, a good show or a bad show, in front of my family, I'll always be a hero. Here, 2020 pandemic. TV, radio, events done. Everyone started saying, YouTube aa gaya. God, you're going to be redundant. Radio, TV, redundant. My mind went for a toss because I was spending so much time at home like all of us did. And I called up one of the platforms I was working with and I said, I quit. And he was like, you quit? The whole world is very, very insecure about losing jobs. I said, no, this is one of the things I do. Radio is one of the things I do. TV is one of the things I do. But I quit in a pandemic my job and focused on my YouTube channel. I've crossed 350 million views, 1.2 million subscribers. At 43 years old, when I meet a 19-year-old kid who calls himself or herself a YouTube sensation, I look eye to eye saying, darling, I am probably 3 times older than you, but look at it, I too am a YouTube sensation. Because I realized that if I kept taking a monthly figure from various people, I will definitely be in my comfort zone. But again, my wife, my parents said, if your heart says it, do it. Worst comes to worst, you come and settle down in Bangalore, and I'll teach you how to cook and you make good food, which I really wanted to do at some point of time. So in my head, that was there as well. I'm going to take you back to a time when I came to Mumbai with my parents. They were with me for 2 years from Lucknow, and then they again moved down south, and I wanted to stay back here. I was caught copying in my exam. I had sheets in my paper, in my foot, sorry. I had sheets in my foot. Xerox made small, kept here, there, because I started doing voiceovers, radio hosting. So I didn't spend too much time in studying, though I did have time. I could have made time, but I didn't. And I was getting carried away with success because wherever you'd go, people would be like, hey, wow, hey, ho. And when I was caught, my mom was called, and my mom was made to sit in front of the principal's office. Then she was called inside. And then I was called in, and my amma was crying. She was sobbing because there was a chance that I would get kicked out of college. And my mom just looked at me and she was crying because sheets were all over me. I had sheets here, sheets there, and they all pulled it out, of course. And my mother kept crying because my parents in their life never put pressure on me. My father never said, be the number 1 tennis player, be the number 1 debater. My mother never said that. So why did I need to copy? Because here I had a family who never said, you have to win. Nothing like that. And when my mom cried, my mother didn't say a word to me. My mother never said a word to me. And that's when I realized that one thing I'm going to do in my journey is being honest to people, honest to my work. No one tells me, mehnat karo, work hard. No one tells me that because I have to do it on my own. And every time, no matter which platform I'm in, I remember my mom's crying face, which brings me joy because that's what transformed my life to being honest to who I am. And I'm proud of my integrity. Never take the shortcut to success because it will never last. No matter how many years you're in the business. So thank you to my Amma as well. If you're watching this, I love you, Amma. Today, there's a whole new terminology which has come called independent media. And they say I'm the flag bearer. I encourage people to start their own content. I nurture people to move into that direction. Because when you do your own things, you are your biggest hero. When you fall, you will not say it's because of my boss, I fell down. Because of so-and-so, I fell down. Because of the company policy, I fell down. When it's your own platform, the only person you can blame is yourself. And when you blame yourself, the only way you'll rise is to push yourself. So, whenever you lose, don't say it happened because of you. It happened because of you. You didn't teach me right. You didn't do this. Nothing. And now I have syndicated my content. And I've got a bunch of 40 young kids like you who I have nurtured them to believe that they own me. My team believes they are my guru and I am their student. My team believes that if there's something that you kids do, I learn from you and do it better. My team keeps me on my toes and tells me the latest things that are happening minute to minute, second to second. And from my YouTube, I've started syndicating my content, which means I've sold my YouTube content to various platforms. And now I can officially call myself a word which I can't spell till date called entrepreneur. But all this can only be done with team building. My parents are part of my team. These new kids like you are part of my team. If you start believing only you can do it, then you can't do it. So take people along with you in this journey of life. And if you take them along with you, they will never let you fall. My only mantra is, be fearless. Don't be scared to lose. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, you just said, I like myself despite these limitations. And you know what these limitations? You make me a better person. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Siddharth Kannan, TV, radio host, YouTuber, entrepreneur, flag bearer of independent media, and of course, a man who's fallen so many times. But when I look back in life, I love every fall of mine. Thank you.